Oh, there you are, YouTube. Do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, I put on this X-Men shirt today to go to sleep in. Usually when you see me, you're seeing me in my sleep clothes. Um, and I put it on and I was like, should I do an X-Men ranking? And I was like, no. I think I want to make a bigger deal out of an X-Men ranking. But for an impromptu video, I think I just want to show you my X-Men movie collection. Now, the first X-Men movie, well, and I wish I had the animated series on DVD or something. I do have X-Men Evolution, but not every episode. But I do have some X-Men Evolution. It was actually my sister's. She bought it, and then when she moved out, I got it. She moved out before I did, and so I have her collection. But so X-Men, the first X-Men movie, the one from 2000, I actually had it on VHS prior, and I had it on VHS twice. I had two copies of it because my parents are divorced, but each one knew that I loved X-Men, so I got one from each parent. So I had two VHS copies of X-Men, which was awesome. No problem in that. When I was at my mom's house, I could watch it. When I was at my dad's house, I could watch it. And then when I went off to college, I got a DVD, and here it is right here. You all know this. This is kind of what the VHS looks like, right? Kind of the same thing with a metallic, reflective quality to it. Look at that. This is a mirror. This is a mirror. You need to check your makeup and do it right here. Just do it right here. This is a mirror. See me? Hey, look, it's me. Wow, 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 wow. Got some stuff going on here. Got the movies. Check it out. We got something in the slip here. It's been a while since I've opened these. It's tough not to call the first movie my favorite just because it had such an impact on me. I was just so happy that it existed. So, maybe it's not technically, objectively the best one, but it had such an impact that it's hard for me not to say it is. We got Storm here. We got a little bit of Sabretooth, talking about that Mystique, and don't forget about Wolverine. Oh, you thought I was done? I wasn't, because we got we also have Magneto and Cyclops right there. So, we got ourselves some X-Men there. That's the first film. I think I have these stacked in order. I just grabbed them from my little collection there, but maybe they're not stacked in order. This is hard to put back in its place. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. So yeah, right there we got the mirror, and then that little side slap. What is this kind of slipcover called? Ooh, and look at that. A little opening there showcases the X. The X, which stands for X-Men. Because they have an extra mutant gene, an extra gene. Jean Grey. Alright, next we got ourselves a little bit of X2, X-Men United, carrying on with that metallic theme right here. Looks like I had some sort of sticker here that I had to peel off. Right there. Got ourselves a little bit of Nightcrawler introduced. That opening scene with Nightcrawler, right? Tell me about it. Off the charts, amazing. Got ourselves a little bit of Storm right there, looking fine. And then we got ourselves that Wolverine. Never forget about Rogue. And then who do we got here? Mystique, even their voice, right here. Mother and son. Not noted in this film, but Easter egged sort of in the film because they have a moment together, right? That's all it really was. This was a good one. This one is like, I think, a lot of people's favorite superhero movie, maybe until like MCU stuff came out, but a lot of people put this one on top, either like X2 or Spider-Man 2. But we got ourselves some Magneto, a little bit of Iceman right there, talking about the Cyclops, Professor Xavier, and got ourselves a little bit of Jean Grey. And then the XR-71 Blackbird. If they got anything that can catch our jet, they deserve to catch us. If they got anything that can... what does he say? I think it's in the first movie. Or maybe it's in this one. Maybe it's in the first movie. If they have anything... What does he say? Cyclops, he's all like... If they have anything that can radar our jet. I don't know, he doesn't say that. Then they deserve to catch us. What would you prefer, yellow spandex? What would you prefer, yellow spandex? Nope. What would you prefer, yellow spandex? The XR-71 Blackbird. I've seen it in person in Washington, D.C. Pretty cool. All right. What do we got? We got ourselves a little bit of... Is this the right order? Yeah. Okay. I thought I was picking up Origins, but no, I'm picking up X-Men The Last Stand right here. They're trying to do that Dark Phoenix stuff going on here, but they're not doing that good job of it. Who do we got? We got ourselves a little bit of Angel right here. Do you see Angel? Well, Professor Xavier, some Magneto. We got some Wolverine, and we got ourselves some Storm looking too fine. And then some Jean Grey and some Mystique. We got some folks on the back as well, because he's the Juggernaut. Beep! And Iceman. We got ourselves a little bit of Rogue and some Colossus right there. We got some Pyro, Cyclops. And who's this? Who's this is my favorite X-Men character. It's Beast right there. Beast is my favorite. Kelsey Grammer played him. Inspired casting. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, he doesn't have like the full Beast look, you know, with the huge hands and the huge feet and everything, but he's got the blue fur and he's got the type of language, speech patterns and accent that I want him to have. That sort of mid-Atlantic, I think, was a good choice there. Now, here's something. The Deadpool movies, which are in this universe technically, sort of changed our Cyclops. But what I would have loved to have happened in those Deadpool movies is for did I say Cyclops? Sorry, Colossus to power down once. And when he powers down, it would have been cool if he was played by the actor that played this version of Cyclops. I keep saying Cyclops. Sorry, it's the C. The C gets me. Colossus, right? So Colossus and Deadpool powers down, and who do we see? The actor that plays this Colossus, and then he powers back up. You know, just for continuity reasons. And Deadpool could have even made a joke about it. He could have been like, and we're going to have Colossus power down here real quick, just so we can create some continuity with the original X-Men franchise. Right? That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. But they didn't do it. But there's still time. There's still time. So I hope they do that. Colossus was just a little bit in... Oh, I didn't even think about that. So in this collection that we're looking at, I'm not going to have the Deadpool movies because they're in a different section. I just grabbed all my X-Men movies. So Deadpool is not happening here. Next, we got ourselves a little bit of that. Okay, so these are not in order because I don't have X-Men Origins here because I sort of separate that out to like a side quest, a side franchise, spin-off franchise, where I have those all in a different area. So that's why we aren't getting X-Men Origins Wolverine. Instead, we're getting X-Men First Class. This was really cool. I like this movie a lot. Takes things back to the 60s, and it's as if, you know, things are just starting. Who do we got here? We got Emma Frost. I was never a big fan of like Emma Frost just because she wasn't in the 90s animated series. Or I guess she did have a little bit with the Hellfire Club. But, you know, when she was sort of brought on as a main character, like in the comics or whatever, I wasn't into it because to me, the X-Men... to me, the X-Men are the 90s animated series, right? But, you know, I did like her in this. She was also in X-Men The Last Stand, played by somebody else. But January Jones plays her here. I think she did a good job. I don't know enough about Emma Frost to know if she actually did a good job. But I liked her. We got ourselves a little bit of Beast here, played by Nicholas Hoult. James McAvoy, who is the younger version, because remember we're back in the 60s here, the younger version of Xavier. Michael Fassbender here as Magneto. We got ourselves a little bit of J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence over here, playing that Mystique character. So this was before the Hunger Games, right? So this is maybe what catapulted her. I mean, honestly, it was probably Winter's Bone. Winter's Bone, not Oscar nomination and everything. It was like Winter's Bone, then this, right? I think it was. And then she did Hunger Games and then really took off. And then after that, we got ourselves a little bit of Havoc, who is Cyclops' brother, right there. We got a little bit of Cyclops' brother here. And he went on to play MacGyver on television. MacGyver. Next, you were questioning what the next one was. That is X-Men Days of Future Past, one of the greatest X-Men films in the franchise right here. Now, this one is the Rogue cut, which has the Anna Paquin scenes still intact in the movie. Theatrically, those scenes were not in the film. So this is a different version than what you saw in the theater, than what I saw in the theater. And I did watch this, and honestly, I do like the theatrical version better, but it is very cool to see Anna Paquin back, even though it is kind of unnecessary and elongates the movie in a way that isn't necessarily needed. But here we have a great scene, or sorry, great movie. And because this is the Rogue cut, of course, Rogue is included on the cover. We got ourselves some Wolverine. Hugh Jackman does some amazing work here. Michael Fassbender, then some Patrick Stewart. Like, look at that. That's cool. Patrick Stewart there. And then we got ourselves some J-Law. So remember, Michael Fassbender is right here playing Magneto, but check out the back. See, this is what's cool about Days of Future Past, is it's a union of X-Men First Class and the original crew. So that's why we also have Ian McKellen right here as Magneto. And remember when we talked about our man Patrick Stewart over here, you know, Captain Picard, he's also being played here by that dude from Atonement, right? So that's really cool. And then, of course, Beast, my favorite character. I don't really like this is mean, I'm sorry, but I don't really care for the Nicholas Hoult Beast. I like the Kelsey Grammer one more. The Nicholas Hoult one, they sort of turned him almost more eventually into a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation. And I'm not about that. Beast needs to stay Beast. I don't want him to be able to flip back and forth like Colossus does with his metal. Okay, next we have X-Men Apocalypse, and I'm not too into this movie. We got ourselves Llewyn Davis here playing Apocalypse, and it's, I think, poorly designed. Not a good look. He looks like Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. This movie, I think, kind of sucks, actually. And everything looks fake and artificial and on a green screen, and it's not good, and I don't like it, and it's a bad X-Men movie, but you know what? I still like it. Why? Because it's an X-Men movie. I have this bias, right? I have this bias for this franchise where even if I don't like it, I like it. Just because I'm so happy that I am a human being that is seeing live action X-Men movies, and I'm easy to please, and I know that there was a world, a life when I was a kid, and they were only animated, and they were perfect animated, but I wanted to see them live action, and they didn't exist live action, and now they do. And even if I don't like the movie, I'm rooting for the movie, and even though I don't like this movie, I'm still rooting for it and so happy that it has fans. I know there are people that really love it and think it's great, and I'm happy about that, because the more people that love X-Men mean the more opportunities I have to watch more X-Men. So even though I don't like it, I'm alright. So here, this movie introduced like a younger Storm right here, Psylocke, who I was never big into. I remember her in a video game when I was a kid, but again, she wasn't 90s animated series X-Men. To me, that's the X-Men. We got ourselves a little bit of a younger Jean Grey here with that old girl from Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, Ellen Page is in this movie. Or sorry. Elliot Page is in this movie also as Kitty Pryde, and that was cool too, because Elliot's also in X-Men 3, so they brought back a lot of it's just cool for them to bring back some cast members, right? And then, oh yeah, Quicksilver. I didn't even talk about that, man. Quicksilver right here. One of the greatest scenes of all time. I'm ready to say it. One of the greatest scenes I've ever seen on screen in all time. One of my favorites. I think maybe the same year. I can't remember if it's the same year, but if the movie Noah by Darren Aronofsky, did that come out the same year? If that came out the same year, the evolution scene in that film, the creation scene, also banger. Like, those two scenes are some of the greatest things my eyes have laid upon, and they came out the same year, I think. Check that for me. But here, this is a problem. We got ourselves some J-Law right here, Jennifer Lawrence, and she's Mystique. But look, ooh, she doesn't look like Mystique. She doesn't look like Mystique. She's over there looking like J-Law. Nah, not for me. And then you know what else? We got ourselves our next film, and that is X-Men Dark Phoenix. Also, not a good movie, bad film. They tried to make another Dark Phoenix story, and they didn't do a good job again. But you know what? Look at this. Get out of here. Jennifer Lawrence, let's sell Jennifer Lawrence instead of Mystique. Get out of here. I'm so glad Rebecca Romijn's coming back, because I think she's going to sit in that makeup chair and be like, I'll sit in this makeup chair. Where Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, I don't know if it's her or the studio or her agents. Probably her agents are like, she's not going to sit in a makeup chair for a long time. And it's like, make a good movie. It's not about you. It's about the character. All right. But yeah, check out this cast. I mean, who's here? Check it out. I mean, we got ourselves a young Nightcrawler also. Got ourselves some more Nicholas Hoult Beast. But yeah, this one here, I didn't think it was very good. Is this also the movie with... This is funny, because I'm pretty sure this is the movie with Jessica Chastain, who is a huge actress, one of the most famous and best actresses of our current time, and she's not even on here. It's like she had it in her contract, do not, and I repeat, do not advertise me for this crap movie. I mean, maybe she liked the movie, I don't know. But it's funny that she's not here. Jessica Chastain. Jessica Chastain. Oscar nominee, Oscar winner. You'd put her on there, and she's not on there. So I think maybe she was like, don't put me on there. All right, so now we're going into sort of a spin-off. So let's get into that next. And the way we're going to do that is by talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine. So I remember when this came out, there was going to be like a few of these X-Men Origin films, because I think after this one, there was supposed to be like a Magneto one, but this movie sucked. So they didn't do it. But you know what's awesome about this movie? Quite a bit of things. Yeah, Deadpool sucks. Look, Deadpool, that's Deadpool right there. What? Wade Wilson. Laugh at that, right? Ryan Reynolds doing such a... I mean, it's probably not his fault. It's probably the studio or the writers or whoever. But anyway, the opening credits to this of Wolverine and Sabretooth fighting through historic wars is just like heckin' cool, man. Heckin' cool. Gambit? No. Tim Riggins is Gambit? No. Or maybe it could have been, but they didn't do it right. Other people should have been Gambit. Maybe Josh Holloway. I don't know, but maybe that's not a good choice either. I don't know. Maybe. They probably could have trained him to do it. But there are cool things in this movie. The Blob. But actually, do I even like the Blob in this movie? I don't. I don't like the Blob. Is he even a mutant in it? Because I don't think he is. And I think the Blob's mutant powers are actually really awesome. So, no. Not the Blob here. Not good. Bad movie. Like, his claws look like Roger Rabbit cartoon claws. No thank you. Next, we got ourselves a little bit of James Mangold right here with our The Wolverine. I kind of like this movie, actually. This is Blu-ray 3D, Blu-ray DVD. My goodness, it's got it all right here. No 4K, but you would think it's 4K because of the black box right here. Look at this cover art. This is off the charts, man. I love this. This is cool. I've never seen this in 3D. I like this movie. It feels small and contained. I know a lot of people think that the final portion gets a little cartoony, but you know what? I don't know. I like this movie. I like that they tried something new, something different, something dramatic, even though it gets comic booky at the end. I'm a fan of this, so I don't know. Works for me. Works for me. But it's not one that I like return to. So it's like a movie that I watch and I'm like, you know what? I like that. I enjoyed that. Next, we got ourselves a little bit of Logan. Talking about that James Mangold one more time. This was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. How cool is that? A superhero movie nominated for screenplay. I would have loved it if it was nominated for Best Picture. Even though with Mangold movies, there's always just a little something I'm not in favor of. A little something I don't like, except for Copland. Copland, perfect film. But Wolverine, the Wolverine that we just talked about, has just a little something I'm just not as into. And same thing here with Logan. Logan, I don't think it's a perfect film, but I think it's a near perfect film, and I think it is a great film, even though it's not perfect. One thing that I don't like is when a character has to battle a clone of themselves. Just a little too on the nose. Just a little too driving the point home. Just a little too, we've seen this before with Superman and probably so many other things even before that. It's just something I've seen too many times and I don't like it, but still very emotional film. I do really like it, even though I just have that one problem with it. Is that my only problem? I think so. So yeah, this was good. A wonderful ending to this character's story. But then he comes back in Deadpool and Wolverine, and I love that also. And the way they desecrate the end of this film is so funny that it's okay for Hugh Jackman to come back, I think. It's so unethical. It's so crass. It's so in bad taste. It's so in bad form that it makes it work. Had they just brought Hugh Jackman back, it would have ruined this. It would have ruined this because it would have been worth it. But the way they dance on his grave and desecrate his body and throw so much humor and grotesqueness at the ending of this film in Deadpool and Wolverine, it makes it work and it makes it okay. Isn't that weird? That they're so out of pocket, off the charts with what they're doing, that's what makes it okay. It's like if it's like being so disrespectful is the same as being incredibly respectful. And you can only do that with Deadpool, which is cool. All right, you thought we were done, didn't you? No, because y'all forgot about New Mutants over here. I'm talking about the X-Men being turned into a horror film. Horror film here. But they didn't quite go hard enough, especially because we saw that whole thing with the whole Nightmare on Elm Street bit with the walls, and then they ended up taking it out, and it's not even in this movie. What the heck? But still, I liked this movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it. We got ourselves a little bit of Danielle Moonstar here. And what's her name? Magic, I think, or something like that. I don't know. But who else is in this? Like Cannonball or something? I don't know. But that bear, some giant bear from like outer space or something like that. I don't know. But I'm actually into this movie. I've only seen it once and I liked it. I know not a lot of people did, but I'm in the minority here because to me, it's a fine addition, and I wish things would have continued, but I know they kind of dumped this movie out because Disney had bought Fox, so things were ending, and they still needed to, just get rid of this, so they just dumped it, didn't do anything for it, and people aren't into it. Oh yeah, Wolfsbane is in it, but for me, it works, and I do wish they would have gone harder with the horror, and I wish, because remember, there are other things that were going to happen, like during this time they were making a multiple man movie with James Franco, which I believe was going to be a crime heist film, maybe, and they were going to make a Gambit movie with Channing Tatum, which later we did get in Deadpool, and probably will still get a Gambit film with Channing Tatum in the Disney universe. But this was supposed to originally happen in the Fox universe, and maybe that one was going to be like a thief heist movie or something like that, or a I don't know. But I liked when they were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use these heroes, these characters that we know as superheroes, which is a genre on its own, and we are going to place them in other genres. Because this one here was supposed to be like a horror film. And it is, but it's not very hard. You know, I feel like they walked things back. But to do that, you know, with Multiple Man, and then to do that with Gambit, and then place them in deep-rooted genres, so they are superhero characters in a genre film rather than a superhero movie as the genre, right? I thought that was a cool move, and I wish we could have seen that, and I hope Disney tries to do something with that. But yeah, this is my X-Men collection. Of course, we did not include the Deadpool movies. I don't have those. I mean, I have Deadpool 1 and 2, but I don't have Deadpool and Wolverine because I really wanted that Wolverine Steelbook, and I didn't end up getting it, sadly. And I don't have the money to buy like a aftermarket one on eBay, but maybe someday I'll get it, or maybe they'll do a re-release or something, because I really did want that Wolverine version. But yeah, this is it right here. X-Men, my favorite movie franchise. Superhero movie franchise, and I love it. I love it so much. So, what do you think of the X-Men movies? Someday I will rank them for you, but I just thought maybe doing them in an order would be best for today. But thank you so much for watching. Wow, I'm almost at 30 minutes. Wow. But I really do appreciate it, and yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on the X-Men. And, you know, maybe rank the X-Men cartoons. Tell me about your thoughts on the X-Men cartoons, because I like those too. I mean, I loved the 90s animated series. I really did like X-Men Evolution. I watched a little bit of X-Men and Wolverine. And is that all, or was there another one? I feel like there might have been one more. I have a anime series somewhere back there, but I don't know where it's at. But anyway, one more time, thank you so much for watching, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.